Welcome to Gary's Hobby Studio. In this video, I'm going over some of the Android apps that I use that work in conjunction with some are just apps, some work in conjunction with some of the hardware or some of the software that I run on my servers and run the house and stuff like that, maybe. But anyways, the first app that we have here is LogRide. And with LogRide, it tracks your amusement park visits. You can add the parks that are listed in the database. I've even added some rides that I know I rode that were older rides, like at Kennywood. I rode the Laser Loop, I think at least once or twice. And I at least logged that I did ride it before they took it out, because I think I went with some friends, and this has been many years ago. But this way it keeps track of your visits, what you've rode, what you haven't rode. I think Maverick's the top one. If I would look at the, because it gives you stats. The most we rode's Maverick. Next one's Millennium Force. And third from the Cedar Fair parks is Top Thrill Dragster. So if you want to keep track of, how many rides you've ridden on a certain ride, especially if you visit different theme parks and stuff like that, this isn't a bad app. It's free. There is a pro feature, and I can't remember what it is, so apparently I don't need to use it. And I think it costs, I want to say $5 or $6. Okay, it costs up to $10. It just depends on if you need that feature. I think it was something that I just really didn't care. But for the free part of it, it's actually pretty decent. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they even have Cedar Point as one of the, for the pictures. So yeah, I know I've ridden Corkscrew, but this way it keeps track of everything, like the different parks, the coaster stats, like for manufacturers, and total number of, it tells you a little bit about the coasters, where they're located. Like I said, I think some of these features are in the paid, and like I said, I don't use those. But LogRide is definitely worthwhile if you like riding coasters and you want to keep track of all the nitty-gritty stuff of it. So definitely LogRide, I give a thumbs up. Now the next one is My Movies Pro 3. I purchased the first one, and for like the first couple of when I first bought this, I had because they have a free version, but it doesn't last long. I think it only allows you to do up to 50 movies, and then after that, that's it. I paid for it. I think it covered like the initial and through version 2, but then version 3, they had to have you pay for it again. The software that you run on a computer that acts as the server, if you want to do it as a client server type thing like I do, the software is free. It doesn't cost you anything. The only time it costs you a license is if you're going to build a media center PC and you're going to include this in the software. Me personally, if I was going to do that, I'd build a media center PC and just tell people about it, show people, like have a demo on a machine at the store. And then say, if you want me to, I can install it real quick, get it set up, and you have to create an account, so I would have them create the account. And then, they can use it or not. I feel it's a worthwhile piece of software because my memory's not that good, and I've almost double and triple bought movies. And with this, I avoid that because instead of looking it up, you can actually scan the barcode like you bought it, even though that you didn't. And it'll tell you if it's already in your, if it's in the movie database that you create. So it's definitely worth the money, and it's like $10.99 now, because I think when I bought it, or maybe I got a discount because I already had it, maybe, and it was only like $6 or $7, something like that. I can't remember how much I paid for it when I had to pay for this. But, you know, it's $10.99. It's a tad bit expensive, but again, you're supporting the developers that make the actual software that installs on a computer. And that website is mymovies.dk, if my memory serves me correctly. If not, you could just Google My Movies, and it should come up with the web link, so that I'll even include it in the description below in this here for the software for this part of it. But you can see it gives you a nice list. I think you could change the background and make it look like a bookshelf, which is nice. I also have this on my tablet too, in case, you know, if I'm scanning movies and I have my tablet, I can do that. And you can scroll through your collection. You can find out information about a movie that you have. It does disc titles, probably like all your downloadable ones, including VHS and laser discs. So that's actually pretty cool. And then like it'll show you the people that are in the movie. And if you click on a person, it tells you who they are and if they've done any other films. And it also lets you know who you've lent the movie to. So it kind of keeps track. And my thing is I don't lend movies. It does seasons for TV series. And then here's basically what it would probably look like on a tablet, something, you know, bigger. But all in all, to be honest with you, I mean, it's definitely I think it's just showing you what it would look like on a tablet. But all in all, it's actually a well worthwhile thing, especially if you want to keep track of all your movies, because like I said, my memory, I can't remember squat. It'll also, if you have your movies ripped, it'll also keep track of your digital versions on your hard drive. It's in the settings, and you have to make sure it's like drive letters and not like the network locations, because if it's that way, I think that's where the problem I'm having is. I'm not 100% sure. I still have to test it, and until I can get my storage units back up and running, that's a low priority right at the moment. But for most home users that don't have anything as elaborate as I do, definitely well worth both the software and the Android app. So the next is now My Gear Vault. Now, similar to My Movies Pro, I just learned about this recently. And what it does is it keeps track of your camera gear. Because how you can see, you can come up with different categories like life events kit, studio kit. I have a vlogging kit on mine. And I've actually kept track of some of the purchases that I made recently. So it's nice if you want to make sure that you're not buying things 6, 7, and 8 times unless you actually need it because you're run short of whatever it is. This is a really nice app. It can also get you quotes on insurance if you want to insure the gear. I'd have to see what my homeowners would cover if I would get any supplemental insurance. But this is definitely a really nice nice Android app that I've just come across recently, because I'm always looking for apps to try to organize my stuff. And speaking of organizing stuff again, this is Paint Rack, and what it is, it's a tool for hobby painters like myself. It allows you to keep track of your hobby paints, what you have, colors you have, what you don't have. It also lets you create sets. So if you use certain colors on a particular figure, like your ultramarines if you play 40K, and let's say you don't use Army Painter's ultramarine or Citadel's ultramarine, but you use Vallejo's. So this way you could put, you know, what you use for like their armor and stuff like that. And it shows you like all the paints. Now that's if you don't filter it to what you have, which is what I do, because this way you only see the circles that are filled. The circles that are open means that you don't have it. And it has a rapid scan where when you hit the 3 little dashes up here, and it comes a drop down. There's a rapid scan. And what it does is you could just keep scanning your paints, and then once you're done, you hit end scan, and then view paints, and then you can add all the paints that you scan, or you can see if they're already in there. Because sometimes I've done that, where I thought that I didn't have it, even though I checked it, and I probably did something stupid. And then I added it again because I had more than one. Sometimes I bought sets that had more than one, and no matter what, I couldn't get away from it. It also has like a color match where it says complimentary. And, you know, it's a color picking tool, and, you know, it's not bad. Anything to help, especially novice painters, because, I mean, I know I've been painting things for, like, since 2015, and it's now 2021, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm still a little iffy on some things. So any tools that I can find, whether they're software, physical, lessons, whatever, it helps me get better as a painter. And here's where you can do individual scans from the main page that shows you all your paints, or if you do the rapid scan, you could do that too. I've used rapid more for if I have like multiple, like I bought 5 or more paints or a whole paint set, and I'm just scanning them in, and then that way I just end it all. Where the other way, it's a scan once, comes back to the main screen after you're done, and then you have to go back into it. So the rapid scan's good for that. Single scan is if you only have like 1 or 2 or 3. And you can set up a wish list of colors you want to get. I haven't used that feature, but it's there. And then here's the mega filter where, you know, if you click on show my paint, it just shows you just what you have, not everything from the selected companies. Because if you go again into here and then hit settings, you could select the manufacturers, and I have quite a bit. I have Reaper, Vallejo, Badger, Army Painter, some Citadel, I have scale 75 colors. So it helps keep track of a lot of different things. And then here's where, you know, you can create your sets, like how it shows here, the belt, you know, for close combat unit, or bone emblem. You use these colors. And that way you don't have to worry about going, oh crap, what did I use? The only thing, I don't know if it allows notes, because I've used it to a degree, but it's mostly just like single colors for the Doom, Cyber Demon for the Doom, the board game. I don't know if it gives you notes so that you could say, you know, this and this for this, and, you know, like, you know, a 2-to-1 ratio for the belt, or, you know, whatever. I don't know if it gives you that capability. I'd have to look at it a little more, because I just put down the color, so again, I don't forget. And that's that for that. The next one, the next 3 that I'm going to go over is for if you use Proxmox. And sometimes I've used 2 out of these 3 apps. This one I have downloaded, but I haven't really used. And what it does is that it allows you to connect to your Proxmox server. And it shows you what VMs or container, you know, Linux containers that you have running. Looks like you can get to the console so that you can like work with the VM. Again, I haven't played with this app, so I don't know if it works. I don't know if you need anything else. And then it gives you these stats, which I'm not sure what this is, because I'm not that much of a gearhead when it comes to this. Did I have to know everything that, you know, Linux is doing? But it's a free app. Like I said, I have it downloaded and installed. I just haven't messed with it. So this one, I'm on the fence about. Now the next one is from the actual makers of Proxmox. Their interface is nice and polished. It's kind of similar to their web interface for their software. Gives you analytics on the CPU, the memory, shows you the nodes, shows you the Linux containers, the actual virtual machines, your storage. It's local storage for like VMs and if you upload ISOs to install OSs and stuff. And you can see the permissions for users. And it shows you if a VM's online and, power settings, console. I guess you could do the console because it has that there. I haven't used the console on this, so I don't know how well it works. And options, and then to migrate the VM from one machine to another. So, like, let's say you were going to do maintenance on one of your servers. Now, if you have your setup like me, I have 2 virtual servers, and I have a domain controller on either one. I don't need to migrate the things that are everywhere. That, like I have a backup. Like, if I take down the primary Proxmox server, Proxmox server 1, that has primary domain controller 1 for my Windows network. If I have to shut that down, I don't have to worry because the secondary domain controller on Proxmox server 2 is up and running, so it can hand out DHCP. It can do everything that the first one did because it's a backup. So I can shut the primary down. Now, if I have VMs, say I have a VM that runs TeamViewer to remote into my house or something like that, and it's the only one because I don't want to have 2. I don't want to duplicate 2 of everything. So that way I can just move whatever I need to from the one server to the other one, shut it down. I can do whatever maintenance, add RAM, replace a power supply, or just blow the dust out of it and make sure everything's functioning correctly for heat dissipation so it doesn't overheat. And that's how you would do it. You would do it with the migrate, and you could do it through this instead of firing up your laptop or going to a desktop computer, firing it up, bringing it up, put the web address in, and have to sit in front of a computer. You can be sitting in front of your TV, just doing it on your phone. Bada bing, bada boom, you're done. And then it shows the migration status. And you can also back up VMs. So the last one, and this one I use the most, and the reason why is because the others didn't exist. Not even this new Proxmox Proxmox Ve Client. It seems like now that this is popular, it's exploded. Because when I was looking for an app like this was the only one that came up. And the reason why I like this is that here's the interface, kind of similar to the others, console, start, shut down. It's because that you can view a desktop on your phone, on your tablet. And that's why I like this. I had to install a piece of software, and it prompts you and it takes you to it. And it works really well. I highly recommend this one. Second, the previous one from the actual company, because like I said, I haven't really fleshed out all of its features to see what they have, what they don't, and stuff like that. This one's really good. The other one should be, I want to say it should be just as good if you take time to play with it. The first one, like I said, I haven't played with it. I'm kind of iffy on that one. But, I haven't set up the authentication that uses a fingerprint. So, and then it shows you like your servers. And to log in, display name, and then the IP address of your Proxmox server, PAM, and then your username and password. Shows you what, it shows you the cluster, and it shows you what VMs that you have running, it looks like. At least that screen. And then it's just showing you what it would look like on a tablet. And you can also do the updates like you would if you went through the web interface on the computer which is, again, is nice. I actually like that. This way here, like I said, if I know I need to do something and I don't want to dig out my big laptop, I can just do it on my phone and get it done without the big clunky thing. And then here's a screenshot of a Windows desktop through the console of that on a tablet. So Aprox, yes, the one from the makers of Proxmox Ve, yes. The first one, I'd have to play with it more before I could give it any kind of recommendation. And the next one is Remote Desktop Manager, and what this does is that it's an RDP client, but you can do so much more because it handles RDP. I think it handles TeamViewer. I'd have to look again. And you can store your passwords in it. I use this at work because a lot of times I have to deal with restarting services on a server. And it's great for that. I don't have a problem with it. I've set it up and I had to export the entire list of domain controllers, import it into it, and it's great. And, I really like it. I don't believe I stored any passwords for it. I know it has a password because when it creates the database, the SQL database, it asks you for a password. And I know I have to put the password in so I can access the database to show the list of servers and everything. Haven't used it on my phone yet, but the Remote Desktop Manager is free software. The functionality that you can do with it is fine for free, and I hope they never change it. If they change it, that's really going to suck. Because this way I don't have to type in the IP address or whatever of the server. I just have the list right there. Click on it. It has a play button. Hit that. Connects to it. Asks me for my AD password so I can log in. Boom. I'm connected. RDP session within a window of the app. And my monitor is big enough. It actually gives me a nice view. Go in, do what I got to do, get out. Highly recommend this for both desktop and for your phone and tablet. I'll leave any of these that I have a link to the actual main software. I will put in the description. And the last app, these are more pictures. But as you can see here, Telmark DC1. That's for activity logs, data sources. But yeah, see, and you can even do the same thing. You can actually view the desktop through the app, which is nice. I think I would rather do this on a tablet than a phone. And you can also do the console. And this is for, go back one here. Yeah, so you could do I don't know what all these are for. Probably just different groups or whatever. I haven't played with this part of it. But you can view logs and reports but that is that. And then the last one's Plex. And if anybody has Plex at home, Plex is a really good way to create your own Netflix that you don't have to worry about losing the streaming rights, because as long as you own the media, you're fine. I'm not condoning piracy of any kind. This is not what this is about. You own the discs, and you rip the discs, and you compress it or store it natively at its native size. That's fine as long as you physically own the media. If you don't own it, I wouldn't do it. And it also gives you now Netflix capability. They just added this where you can actually stream. Now these are older movies, way older movies, and it doesn't cost you anything. But you do have to pay for their membership subscription. And if you wait, there's certain times of the year that they actually put it on sale. Because right now, I think I don't know if it's lifetime But you need a Plex Pass, and I think there's monthly and I think there's lifetime. Lifetime's like $150. Sometimes I've seen them put it on sale for 75 bucks. And the reason being is because before they up the price, probably due to the fact that, again, the software is free that you run on your machine, but because of support costs, developer costs, that's probably why they had to up the price. It was $75 for the lifetime subscription. When I heard that they were going to up the price to 150 bucks, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend the 75. And I don't know if I use the features that the subscription unlocks, but I know I have it, and I'm not going to get rid of it just because of that. I don't think you need the Plex Pass, or you might want to read the app, because I'm not sure if it does. If you don't need it, which I don't think you do, if it's just from your machine to somebody else's, or I mean to another device. I think you need it if you're going to share your library out with other people. Now, they don't need to pay for the subscription. All they have to do is just create an account, and you can add them to it, because I know my wife is able to view the Plex server on her machine or on her phone and tablet. All she has to do is log into her account, because I've added her to the list of shareable people, and she's able to watch it without a problem, and I know she doesn't pay for the subscription. So you may need it to do certain functions, and I believe in the description on their site that tells you what you need the Plex Pass for. You can determine if you want to use the Plex Pass or not. I did it just in case if I ever need to use those features, I know they're there. And the good thing is like I said, I only paid $75, lifetime license. I'm not paying for it monthly. You need to determine if it's better monthly for you, or if it's just the one-time, lifetime, that's it, you're done. My theory is if you're going to keep the thing going, look at how much that is. I think it's like $5, could be more, I can't remember. See how fast that'll add up to buying the full-time license, and then, or lifetime license, and then you need to see, should I get it, shouldn't I get it, will it be justified by buying it or not. So those are pretty much my 8 apps that I really use. One, like I said, I'm kind of iffy on. But these are at least options you can look at. You can also look at that other Proxmox one that was listed there. But you can discover new movies, because like I said, it allows you to stream it on the app. You don't need a server up for that. But again, I think you do need the Plex Pass for this on the app. And then you can find entertainment. You can watch together, because you can watch it with friends, and they don't have to be at the house. They could be streaming it to their house from that, but you need a fast enough internet connection to be able to do it. I would recommend, I know I have a gigabit connection. I'd say to get probably 720p, you probably need a 1080, you may need a 20. I think they have information on their site, either in their support or for the app, at what the bandwidth you would need to stream. But also too depends on how many streams too that your machine can handle too, because if it can only handle 2 streams, it's going to be you and somebody else that you allow, or that you send out, hey, let's watch this movie together. So it depends on your machine's capabilities, and also your internet connection. So definitely look into that before you, again, spend any money on the subscription or anything of the kind. The software is free, and it's great. You can build your own personal library, stream 14,000 movies and shows. Now, these are the ones that are a part of that with the subscription. Like I said, some of them I may like, some of them may not. I haven't really looked at it. I might soon. And if you have the right device, you can do live TV. I haven't done that yet because I really don't want to. You can also stream, because there's also music too, but I think that's a different server. I think that's at Tidball, something like that. I know it starts with a T. That's an extra fee, and that's a monthly fee, and I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, I listen to some music, but it's not like I need to stream it all day or anything like that. And there is podcasts that you can sign up for through the app and you can listen to. And you can get news, local, national, and global feeds. And more add DVR power. You know, I think there's a way to do it. I haven't done it because I have a DVR with my cable company. You might be able to eliminate that and save you some money, maybe. I haven't looked into it, so I can't say definitively. And it's just showing you what it would look like on a tablet because of how wide it is. So those are my 9 apps on the list. Like I said, one I'm debating. It's debatable. The other 8 I would definitely recommend. Like I said, some cost money, some features cost money. Just depends on what you want to do. I'm not saying I'm the king of cheap, but I like to think I'm the court jester of cheap. I try to buy things as cheap as possible. And if it works for free, I'm going to use it for free. I'm not going to pay it. I'll just ignore if it pops up, you know, hey, you should pay for this, you know, like I do for my antivirus. But yeah, definitely LogRide, My Movies, My Gear Vault, Paint Rack, Proxmox Virtual Environment, Apox, Remote Desktop Manager, and Plex. I definitely recommend all those. If you have any of your favorite apps that do certain utilities, these are not games. I didn't cover games. These are just stuff that's for organization or, you know, utility-wise that controls, you know, stuff in your house, whether it be a computer, server, stuff like that. If you have any of those, feel free to list them down below. I would love to hear about them. I'd love to try them out. And maybe some of you may not know anything about these and go, hey, you know, here they are and all that. So that's my list. Hope to see your comments. And as I always like to say, have a good day, guys. Take care.